Welcome back. It's now time for Simply South. We begin with our top focus story. The Congress government in Karnataka is facing sharp questions over its flagship Shakti Guarantee Scheme, which has left a massive financial hole in the state transport corporations. The government has admitted that outstanding dues have mounted to over 4,000 crore rupees, pushing already crash-strapped transport bodies into deep financial crisis. This disclosure came in a written response to a question that was raised by the leader of opposition in the Legislative Council, Chalavadi Narayanaswamy. Official data shows unpaid reimbursements rising steadily over 1,180 crore rupees in the year 2023-24, more than 1,170 crores in 24-25, and over 1,650 crore rupees in the current financial year till November. The delay in reimbursements has left the four state transport corporations struggling to meet operational costs, intensifying concerns over the financial stability of welfare guarantees. State Transport Minister remains defensive and defiant on the matter, and he's now said that the Shakti scheme dues were left behind by the BJP, adding that the Congress is only clearing it.
ಇದು ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಾಕಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. 4,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಬಾಕಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 2023ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಬಿಟ್ಟುಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ 4,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಸಾಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೌಕರರ ಸಂಘದವರು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ 1,700 ಕೋಟಿ 38 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಸೇರಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟೋಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಒಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ನಾವು ತೀರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ 2,000 ಕೋಟಿ ತೀರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಏನು ದಿವಾಳಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಶಕ್ತಿ ಹಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಗೃಹಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಹಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇವ್ರ ಬಂಡವಾಳನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತೆ. BJP ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಹಿಂದೆ 2002 ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನರೇಗಾ ಹಣ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಕಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 5ನೇ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಆಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಭದ್ರಾ ಮೇಲ್ದಂಡೆಗೆ 5,300 ಕೋಟಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ರಸ್ತೆಗೆ 3,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಬಜೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಡಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. 5ನೇ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 5,495 ಕೋಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನೂ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ. ದಿವಾಳಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವಲ್ಲ.
Let me take this across to my colleague Harish Upadhyay, who is now with us on the broadcast. Harish, this seems to be the standard response from the Congress party, and this time the Transport Minister, Mr. Reddy, really going on to claim that it was the dues that were left under the Basavaraj Bommai government, the BJP government back in the day, that the Congress is still clearing out. But they have to answer the key question. It was on the main, these guarantees that the Congress government has come into power in the state of Karnataka. What are they planning on really doing about these guarantees?
Absolutely, and once these guarantees were implemented, Griha, one of the main promises of the government was that it won't hit the state transport corporations in any way, because the government would reimburse this money for the kind of tickets that have been given out under the Shakti scheme. That was one of the main guarantees of the Congress party. But if you look at the figures that have been disclosed in the assembly, it's very clear that these figures or these debts are pending from the first year. That's when the rollout of this Shakti guarantee took place from 2023. These dues are pending of 1,000 odd crore rupees in the first year, again 1,000 odd crore rupees in the second year, and even this year, a total of 4,000 odd crore rupees, and this money hasn't been reimbursed. You have Ramlinga Reddy claiming that when Basavaraj Bommai left office in 2023, there were dues to the tune of 2,000 crore rupees, whether in terms of the salary dues that were left behind or the PF dues that the state corporations hadn't paid. He is saying this government itself has paid those 2,000 crore rupees, and the government is giving money for all these corporations to ensure that their financial stability doesn't take a hit. But there are serious questions being raised on how this affects the state transport corporations in terms of procuring new buses. The BJP saying that at several places, old buses which are not fit to run, are currently being kept in operations because just because the state corporations are not able to procure new buses, and that's largely because of the Shakti scheme. Remember, this is coming in at a time, Graha, when there are already question marks on the funding of the Gruha Lakshmi scheme, the 2,000 rupees that's given to the woman household head. And we've already seen the BJP saying that the minister was misleading the House, and there are at least 2 installments worth around 5,000 crore rupees that hasn't been dispersed, and the minister misled the House. The minister apologized.
Harish, I'm really sorry to interrupt you. We have Ashok Gowda of the Bharatiya Janata Party who is now joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Gowda, the finger is being pointed at the Bharatiya Janata Party now by the Congress government, claiming that it was under Basavaraj Bommai that there were dues that had mounted, and the Congress has only ended up going ahead and clearing all those dues. And that is why this sort of a thing has really happened. What do you make of this explanation that's coming in from the Congress, sir?
See, let's understand, probably the Transport Minister, Mr. Ramlinga Reddy, does not understand how the transport has been modified, whether it was in PGR Sindhya's time or whether it was during BJP's tenure, both the times. Let's forget the history. Now come to the facts. Let them release a white paper that during the BJP's time, that is during the Bommai's time, what was the pending amount? It was not more than 380 crores or very close to around 400 crores, the pending amount. Now, we had very clearly stated when they said that we are going to announce the Shakti Yojana and all the 3 RTCs and 1 BMTC, the corporation, all these 4 corporations, how it will go for a task. Now, believe me or not, first of all, the buses were pledged and BMTC properties were pledged only to maintain. Now, they have not paid a PF, they have not paid a gratuity. With all these things, their Shakti Yojana is hitting the entire treasury to that extent that the debt has increased from 350 or 400 crores to 7,000 crores, and it will be mounting more in the coming days. And what is estimated is that it will be by the time this government will pass on to the other government in 2028, it will surpass 15,000 crores because the maintenance of the buses will be additional burden which will be adding to the thing. And with all these problems on, the Congress party, whether it is Ramlinga Reddy or Chief Minister, now Siddaramaiah or later whoever is the Chief Minister, they do not understand when you rule out a scheme, roll it out in such way that it does not cost a treasury to that extent where the department will have to be closed. The same thing happened in a lot of other states or in other countries also. The examples are there. We have examples wherein the other states had to close down and privatize their entire transportation system. And now Karnataka had one of the best transportation systems. Now it has gone for a complete task. Buses are repaired. They are not able to pay for the service. They are not able to exchange the tires. They are not able to fill the fuel. And when this is an extent, even the employees are suffering without gratuity and PF. And when all these things are there, the government says our Shakti Yojana is the best and our Gruha Lakshmi Yojana is the best. It's not about rolling out the scheme, but you have to roll it out in such way that it does not cost the exchequer. At the same time, people will also be benefited. It should be a win-win situation.
Thank you so much for that perspective of yours. Harish, fair point that has been raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party. He's also talking about how this can be a major risk because several of these buses, like you mentioned, they are not even in that condition that they should be running on the roads. That audit also has not really been done. Dues are not cleared, and everything is used to fund that entire Shakti scheme of the Congress government.